excellence, but he's also the one who silently, in a way, in his own way, contributed in terms of bringing the confidence into several movement leaders, including the government servants, who always see him as one of the, there are others, but he's also one of the role models in which one could see that while you taking the very high position, but still how you can pay. Invite Professor Laxminarayana, sir. Laxminarayana. Sir, please come on to the right, please. And he's from the Hyderabad Central University, and he's also known for generating a very, very thoughtful discourse on several aspects. Thank you so much. Hearty welcome, sir. Please. Sir, Srinivas, sir. We are glad to have Srinivas ji, a member of Legislative Assembly, and he has already, Lakshmi ji introduced us. He almost like a mixed up, sorry, busy schedule. He took time. He wanted to be with us. And thank you so much, Srinivas ji, for joining. We look forward to your message as well. And we also have Rajendra Reddy garu, and he's the former Bar Council of India chairperson. So thank you for joining. If you're not here, please come onto the stage, please. And also take this opportunity to invite our own Vundru Rajashekar ji. Please, Vundru Rajashekar ji was there yesterday. He was one of the keynote speakers. He set the tone for the. And also a good request, Lakshmi ji, please not complete, so please come and fill the ring within India. Hearty welcome, Lakshmi ji, and I would like to thank the ring within India. Hearty welcome, Lakshmi ji, and I would like to thank not only Lakshmi ji but then the proceedings to Dr. K. Ramachandra Murthy.
Thank you, Shana. I'm very good at what to do. Thanks. See, the valedictory function began. We've done very well today and yesterday. And Ambedkar's ideology has been discussed thoroughly in 75 meetings, 75 days, 75 weeks. Honorable Laxminarayana has organized as based on Sakarji. All of them spoke very well. Not less than 1 hour. And every speaker was an authority on Ambedkar and Constitution. Now today this is a valedictory function where we have speakers like B Sudarshan and Chakrapani, Ramesh IAS, and done by Laxminarayana and followed by Karyakartas. I want to just emphasize on one thing: elections. Elections is the key for democracy. You know how elections are being commission is manipulated. That's enough to talk about the manipulation of the constitution. Election commission came Amit Shah. Now Prime Minister and Home Minister will decide who should be the Chief Election Commissioner, who should be Election Commissioner. That is one act. Another act is not to question the Chief Election Commissioner anything. Whatever he does should not be questioned in court of law. That's another law. And third is would not answer any question raised by opposition parties. He speaks like an opposition leader, like a BJP leader, or more than a BJP leader, where he takes off 606 crores of votes. So far 6 crores of votes have been struck off. 6 crores of voters have been disenfranchised. They don't have votes now. Those who voted in last elections cannot vote now. Even if court says they should be revealed, it is not done. So by managing elections, democracy is managed. We say the opposition is incompetent. 40 will fix it. 40 will fix it. Take a jet. The
building a good constitution. In the evenings, in the mornings, everywhere the discrimination for years. I mean, the question arises whether really the constitution is for years. I mean, the question arises whether really the constitution is working or not. If the constitution is working, why we are going into in a reverse order? Those who got elected, they can rule and ruin entire country. But Krishna here says the constitution is not mere parchment of paper. It is a way of life and a vehicle of social transformation. When I read the concept note of this convention, I remembered V.R. Krishna Garu, and who said the constitution is not a simple lawyer's document. It is vehicle of life, the cue from the words of Krishna here, and we have to demonstrate our spirit. I really once again congratulate Center for Dalit Studies for taking that spirit and spreading that spirit and bringing entire country to, but constantly is carrying the mission of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and he is very seriously, like a life mission, he is continuing the spirit and spreading the message of Dr. Babasaheb. And now, for the last 1 year, really I impressed with that program, designing and the invitation, I mean the speakers, who attended those activities, there I think, and from entire country, he built a new kind of consciousness of Indian Constitution. Let me congratulate once again Laxminarayana Garu and Center for Dalit Studies for an extraordinary year of work that embodied this constitutional spirit in action. Though all the 1 year program has, through seminars, invited lectures, webinars, and sustained dialogue, you have taken the constitution out of elite space and into the lives of the people, which was the immediate and essential need of the hour. And the impact of the constitution is in fact real. We cannot say the constitution is not working. If the constitution is not working and not worked any time, we are all, of course, I think, it is not possible to come to this level and this place. Millions of students are coming up, young generations are coming up, and lawyers coming up, and professors, researchers, everybody now emerging like, a kind of sea across the country. It is because of the constitution and its opportunities in the form of whether it is reservation or equal opportunity, a new generation of soldiers who has immense faith in the constitution are emerging. I don't say only, Dalits or Adivasis or OBCs, no. In the society, we have a kind of cream which emerged and which very seriously proposing the immediate need of protection of constitution. Why we need to protect the constitution? As all of you know, even a person like, an intellectual constitutional expert like Austin, he said this Indian constitution as charter is a charter of, so, and there are important things. Since yesterday, it's because of Britishers we are like here, like this. Because of Britishers, all the social and economic words, you will be blamed yourself, and you are the, for the last 10 years. Why you are, not only, Indians, not only they blame British happening, and this is going to be a kind of, ignoring the issues and problems of society, stress. In the preamble itself, the preamble also, very the visionary kind of expression in preamble. We the people of India. It starts, we are with very great vision of future. They wrote entire thing that we are going to establish an equitable society and just society, and for everybody the freedom, justice and equality, and more importantly fraternity will be delivered. But of course, unfortunately, that is not done. It is not only for Modi ji, who is always taking the name of Nehru. Every state, the chief minister is also taking previous regime, and they are taking and blaming the previous chief minister, whether it's escape from their duties. And the second is, Ambedkar very strongly believed that democracy can survive only through, we must reject the grammar of anarchy. The state must reject the grammar of anarchy. And just you look at the speeches, you look at the activities, you look at the laws. Just now our President Ramachandra Murthy garu is giving example of how ED used, and how election commission is diluted, and a lot of other things in the you can employment scheme. It is very arrogant kind of and anarchic kind of grammar they are using, and they are spreading that kind of very a kind of negative trend among the people of this country. I would like to remind the words of Justice Sudarshan Reddy garu, who is here. He very clearly spelled out against this kind of attitude of the state. In Salvajudum case, Justice Sudarshan Reddy garu gave a statement, and a not statement, of course, a judgment that very clearly says how state should be, how state should not people from practicing violence. State is sponsoring violence, and he warned that when the state arms civilians and legitimizes coercion in the name of security or development, it destroys the rule of law. It claims to protect. Law has to protect the people. But if you introduce violence and exercise violence, the law will collapse, constitution will collapse. And he also reminded us that the constitution does not permit the state to fight violence, sponsor violence by abandoning constitutional morality, and that development cannot be built on the erosion of human dignity. Now just look at the things happening around around us, and particularly this is a context of Chhattisgarh land order situation. Now the country home minister has taken that entire Chhattisgarh, and now what is the position of land order in Chhattisgarh? He shunned the hero worship kind of attitude, and he opposed that, and he rejected that. And devotion in religion we can understand. A person can have devotion in religion, but devotion towards a kind of devastation to society. Now the country is going in that kind of path. It is definitely harming Indian constitution, and it gives a kind of license to the anarchic methods, to rulers in the country. And finally, he cautioned, and he advised, and he guided, and he said that political democracy cannot survive without social democracy. Unfortunately, now even that political democracy is also not surviving. Leave about social democracy. Fighting for the last 75 years in the alliance of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Do we really achieve that political, social democracy? On the other hand, entire political democracies arose. Everybody is greeting Justice Sudarshan Reddy garu. On that day, sir, I tweeted one thing. Sir, you are contesting, that is your victory. You need not win election. That is the situation in this country now. Just you think of about, Dalits. If Dalits, fear that, we are losing, I don't think there is no life for Dalits in this country. Though we are losing, we have to fight. हम ये हार रहे, फिर भी चलो fight तो करना पड़ेगा. That is the tradition of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and the same tradition and the same kind of path is continued by our brother Lakshmaya and Center for Dalit Studies. Of course, this tradition is there in Andhra and Telangana. Not even Andhra and Telangana, even entire country is fighting against that kind of, that kind of regime. Sir, in all aspects, this, I think this 2 days debate and discussion going to help us and going to help Dalits and intellectuals, of course, to put their arguments more powerful. And we have young scholars and teachers here from universities. I think we must come together and fight all these kind of actions against Constitution. Against Constitution is nothing but against Baba Sahib, and not even just against Baba Sahib. It is against all of us and all the Dalits of this country. I thank Laxminarayana Garu and particularly Center for Dalit Studies for giving me this opportunity to meet all of you, and of course, to sit along with all the very impressive personalities. Thank you very much. Thank you.
One minute with permission of the chair. The Professor Ghanta Chakrapani was the founder, General Secretary of Center for Dalit Studies. I was the president that time. He was the General Secretary. Thank you.
Sir, the whole country is looking towards Hyderabad. You know that? Today, people from all the states, Delhi, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, all states are here, and they are here on their own. They were not paid to come here. They have gotten the tickets here. That's a great thing. Now, I request guest of honor, P.V.Ramesh. Ramesh Garu IAS officer, he was Chief Secretary, Additional Chief Secretary for Andhra Pradesh government, and now he is working for a private company. He is a great IAS officer.
The presiding officer of this event who adorned this dais, Justice Sudarshan Reddy Garu, Ghanta Chakrapani Garu, Undur Rajshekar Garu, all eminent people, Ramachandra Reddy Garu, Srinivas Garu. Friends, very good afternoon. I consider this as an honor and a privilege to stand before you today and invite you all to this event who come from all over the country because of your deep, abiding commitment and belief in the Constitution of India. And I want to congratulate the Center for Dalit Studies and especially Mr. Laxminarayana Garu, who is really responsible for keeping the flag in corner, to provide a platform to discuss, to debate, to reflect, and to act upon the fundamental foundational principles which defines our country. I just want to take any liberty to speak as an authority, but I just want to highlight two important issues. One is to step back 76 years when the Constitution was adopted, 26th November 1949, and the day before the last valedictory speech of Baba Sahib on 25th, which is very comprehensive and very detailed. And the India was still a work in progress. 565 princely states, old British India. The states were 9 states. Hardly 14% of Indians could read and write. Less than 10% of women were literate. The per capita income in today's value was 250 rupees. 150 children who were. This was a poor country, a diverse country, a country that didn't exist. And this was one of those first nation states that came into existence after the Second World War, especially how a Bible or Quran was the scripture. The constitution was to be that was prepared, that was adopted, that was dedicated by the Constituent Assembly on behalf of. I want to highlight and you all know the preamble, and what an audacity of hope to constitute this disparate country, the sovereign of India. Now, in the main, some of the main points that Dr. Ambedkar made on that day were the fact that all Indians were being given right to vote, the universal adult franchise, and which was unprecedented, no to women till 1932. And the blacks, the African Americans didn't have a right to vote till the Civil Rights Act of 1966. Now, this was, but he cautioned, and I quote from Dr. Ambedkar, in politics we'll have equality, and he recognized this contradiction. We would have, politics will have equality, but in social and economic life, adult franchise would translate into a genuine democracy. It would empower the weak and the poor, and particularly the Dalits and the Adivasis. And what an extraordinary aspiration! What an extraordinary aspiration to hope for principles of fraternity in a country that was structurally for thousands of years had practiced, believed in, and built on the foundations of structural, exploitative inequality, social and ipso facto economic. On that, to say that we would be fraternal, we would be brothers and sisters, we would have a sense of equality, and this whole ideal that animated the French Revolution is so elegantly incorporated, not just in words, but in terms of how those aspirations, ambitions would be translated. Balances, the rule of law, the entire structure of the power. It would bring elimination, the whole discrimination of untouchability. I mean, the unprecedented in the history of the human civilization, that a set of people, not one or two, but crores of people were considered polluting. Now, in this ambition to craft this new theology for a secular socialist republic that would empower, transform, and translate into a modern civilization. Now, that was the ambition in 1950 that animated the framers of the Constitution, led by Baba Saheb Ambedkar. I just jump to today, and sir, I take the liberty to speak a few things which I thought I should touch upon. 75 years is a long time. World history that had not known nation states for a long time, or republics, or sovereign republics, is hardly 100-150 years. If you exclude the United States of America, these are mostly post Second World War products. Now, nevertheless, 75 years, 76 years is a good time to reflect, and I just want to touch upon 3-4 things. One is, are we have the aspirations of the Constitution been realized? Because what really, there are 2 issues I just want to raise for the consideration. Number 1 is what really binds us together as a nation. What are those foundational principles that unite? One of the columnists of New York Times I admire, David Brooks, says, what is that? Now, today, after 75 years, number 1, have we realized those ambitions of the Constitution? Are we today a secular republic, particularly when the majoritarian ideal is being pushed as the main? For 25 years we've been practicing neoliberalism, 1% of Indians owning 46% of the wealth, people having less than 10%. Have we realized the ambition, the ideal of equality? Are we realized the ideal of fraternity? When people, as recently as last week, for young people marrying out of their caste are being killed, being burnt, are we still, forum the Prime Minister of Canada has said, of the international order, this is not merely a transition, it's a rupture. I would like to believe we really are rupturing from the foundational principles of the Constitution and the constitutional morality that Baba Saheb has talked about. Produce evidence that your parents were Indian citizens, and a Professor Amartya Sen's parents. Is this still an electoral? If you have to spend 30 to 50 crores to contest, an honorable MLA is on the dais, and if this is the money, and are we still calling ourselves?
140 was the expenditure of
140 crores for one MLA's expenditure. Are we still and if the institutions that were supposed to uphold the rule of law are being weaponized to subvert the very rule of law, are we still a sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic republic? I believe this is the time to wake up. This is the time to talk about it. This is the time to act upon it. It's easy for me to say, but I feel deeply anguished and deeply affected by what's going on in this country, and commitment and deep sense of anguish for what's going on, and also foundational belief lost. But there is an opportunity, and that opportunity is really the Constitution. And I think this is an opportunity to take it to people in local languages, in the language that people understand, to talk about it, to see the distortions, and to restore back to those foundational ideals that have animated the crafting of this great document, a testament, a theocracy, and is an extraordinary statement. It's a caution, and this is come alive. And he says, I quote, reason will not be that we had a bad constitution. What we will have to say is, quoting Shakespeare, he says that man was wild. And I believe we are filled with men, mostly men, almost entirely men, who are wild and are trampling upon
political culture. But political democracy we have. So we don't have social. In society, we are not equal. About the democracy, about the very constitution is valid because many intellectuals, yesterday also, will be valid after some time. That fear is shared by everybody. Those of you who are working on the ground, nobody to speak.
Dignitaries on the dais, Justice Sudarshan Reddy garu, respected President, and other dignitaries on the dais. Actually, I am not competent to talk about Constitution, but I also admit that I missed the sessions yesterday and today, and I am really feeling because of some other works I could not attend. In this context, just I want to remind myself two things, that now Indian Constitution is attacked by Hindutva forces, and as we all know that they did not even Constitution is a fact, as it is said just now. Caste, nobody says that there are human beings in it, but whereas for the first time in Indian history, Ambedkar said that one man, one value, one vote, one value. So this is because this is said on the basis of that all are human beings. Previously there are no such human beings. Somebody is higher, somebody is lower. I think that is a ideology, and they are against, not only against the Constitution, they are against the constitutional nationalism. Now, as against which they are propagating basically Hindutva nationalism, it is a big attack that has been coming. So, of course, there is also some attack from the so-called leftist forces that we leave aside. But two things I want to remember. That's why whenever they come to power, they say that we want to change the constitution. And actually one meeting was held in our university when during Vajpayee time, and that time I think they had a committee with Justice Venkatachalaya garu. He came to that conference, and Ambedkar students, they shouted slogans when meeting was starting. So for 15-20 minutes they shouted slogan. Since you are the chairperson of that whatever committee which want to change the constitution, then afterwards he himself, Justice Venkatachalaya himself told that good that you have protested. Now I know that I will not touch anything which is giving benefits to you. So that's why whenever they come to power, they want to change the constitution. And that's why during that time, I think K.R. Narayan raised a fundamental question. If constitution failed, of course constitution is a revolution in terms of at least formal equality. It's a revolutionary document as against the earlier Varna Dharma or whatever. So he told whether we failed the constitution or constitution failed us. It's a fundamental question to that NDA government and failed us. Just one more thing I want to remember myself, because I am also working in the field of change this ideological framework of all, particularly those who are in the power. And I think education will be useful as an ideology in that sense. So that's why, although we have Article 21A, right to life, but right to life with dignity, and dignity can come only through education. And educated, healthy individual, unless civil society is built, after revolution for the last 20 years against the constitution. So but the problem is that we have provisions, but there is no implementation. Right to education is there, 21A has come, but if you go to teacher to teach, and whereas the other classes, see the AC classrooms, AC buses, everything AC, and but in these schools you do not have even a safe drinking water after midday meals. I think this kind of inequality simply not only unacceptable, it is atrocious in this country, and still it is going on. So just one more point I want to say, Article 39, where they also say about how the children should be protected from the exploitation from the as just reminded by our speaker, the concentration of wealth is such that somewhere this constitution, whether it will be implemented in reality or not, because so many rules, SC/ST Atrocity Act is there, now every month one killing is taking place. There is nobody responding. I myself went, met collector, SP, they said we will take action. So now it has become such a thing that you can kill a Dalit and government can give 4.5 lakhs. That is half of the compensation, because when one person was killed, you have to register a case. They are registering a case, and 4.5 lakhs they are giving, and after that there is no charge sheet. 99% of the cases there is no charge sheet, and those who are arrested, they know they will come out within 2 months. So, and they need not pay 4.5 lakhs. 4.5 lakhs is paid by the government. So I can kill a Dalit and come out. Only 2 months I can stay, and there is a mechanism around me, entire political mechanism to pull me out. I think this is the situation where we have to really think and do something. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Laxminarayana Garu. We needed a professor from Central University to say Hindutva. You were the first person to utter the word here, Hindutva, today. They are very straight in their criticism. Yesterday also we had some professors. Front foot batting, that's called. Straight bat is Radhi Sadhi Kalam, straight bat. Front foot batting is done by professors here. We have 2 professors here. Now I request Ramachandra Murthy, IAS officer from Haryana, to say a few words. You are perfect.
Just
You cannot defy the chair.
By the sovereign authority of the chair in the Constitution of India, I mean summoned here. Thank you so much, sir, in the great benign presence of Justice Sudarshan Reddy garu, P.V.Ramesh garu, my great friend Ghanta Chakrapani, Ramachandra garu, Laxminarayana garu, Srinivas garu, and Laxminarayana. Ramachandra Murthy gari Adeshalu. Sir, it's been a great time with the friend from every nook and corner of the country, diverse cultures, the ways of expression. It's been a great time, and people, the participants here, even after the sessions were over, standing hours and hours. I think the conclave is a institution, and still we are how to ensure justice in this country, how to ensure liberty in this country, and how to ensure equality in this country. Thank you so much, sir, for calling me here. Jai Bhim.
Thank you, Advocate. Why insisted that he should speak, you know? Mr. Laxminarayana is the leader of the Dalit movement, and he is mentor of Laxminarayana.
Today's chief guest, Professor Chakrapani garu, Ramesh garu. Good evening to all the brothers and sisters came from across the country. I am happy to see all of you. First, I convey my sorry to Mr. Anand yesterday. Then I thought I should compulsory attend the program today. Then I called him. Then I said I will come by to all of them and to talk about the Constitution. But still, one thing, Constitution provides all protections. We have to think ourselves again and again. So then, one thing I can say, last one word, Ambedkar's prophecy coming true. Dr. Ambedkar asked the Constitution Assembly, probably on the last day of the Constitution making process, as to what would happen if the beautiful temple, the Constitution, they had built for the people of this India, is taken over by the Rakshasas. The professional politicians and the officials, the Rakshasas of our age have indeed to taken over the temple, the Constitution of India, and are pulling it with their words and deeds. So then, after seeing this, as perfectly stated that, we are experiencing the today's politicians and their ruling, their way of talking, how people they are harassing the people with the power. So with these few words, I conclude. I thank you, Mr. Laxminarayana. I am always associated within the Dalit personal studies. I was here.
Thank you, sir. Vinay Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Your name is listed here.
No escape, no bail.
చెప్తా ఉన్నారు. చాలా మంది తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఉన్నప్పటికీ తెలుగులో కాబట్టి హిందీ ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. భారతదేశానికి గణతంత్ర ప్రజాస్వామ్యాన్ని అందించినటువంటి ఈ రోజుని మనం ఎప్పటికీ మర్చిపోకూడదు. అంటే 77 ఏళ్ల క్రితం వరకు మనం అందరం కూడా ఈ దేశంలో పౌరులుగా లేవు, నాగరికులుగా లేని సమాజం, అంటే పౌరులుగా లేని సమాజంలో జీవించాం. కులాలుగా, మతాలుగా, భాషలుగా, ప్రాంతాలుగా చీలిపోయి ముక్కలు ముక్కలుగా గుర్తింపు లేనటువంటి ఒక మానవ స్పృహ లేనటువంటి ఒక సమాజంలో మనం ఉన్నాం. ఒక మనిషికి ఒక ఓటు ఒక విలువ ద్వారా వన్ మ్యాన్ వన్ ఓట్ వన్ వాల్యూ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్లో మనందరినీ దేశంలో నాగరికులుగా, పౌరులుగా తీర్చిదిద్దినటువంటి ఉందో అది భారత రాజ్యాంగం. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ భారతదేశాన్ని ఒక పరివర్తన దిశగా, గత సమాజాన్ని సరికొత్త సమాజంగా ఆవిష్కరించినటువంటి అద్భుతమైనటువంటి ఈ గణతంత్ర దినోత్సవం ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ సందర్భంగా మనం ఈ రోజున పౌరులుగా మారాం. ఈ రోజున అనేక దేశాల్లో అనేక మంది ఉద్యమాలు చేస్తారు. మనం ఒక గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో పుట్టినటువంటి వాళ్ళు ఒక బట్లుతికినైన పరుగా, డాక్టర్లుగా, ఇంజనీర్లుగా, ఐఏఎస్ అధికారులుగా భారతదేశంలో సకల రంగాలలో ప్రావీణ్యం పొందినటువంటి వ్యక్తులకి రోజున వచ్చారంటే దానికి వితౌట్ ఇండియా దెర్ ఈజ్ నో డెమోక్రసీ, వితౌట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ నో డెమోక్రసీ. డెమోక్రసీ, ఇండియా, కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ పుట్ టుగెదర్. జై భీమ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
నమస్కారం ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ఎమ్మెల్యే గారు, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్రం చెందిన టీడీపీ ఎమ్మెల్యే గారు,
Jai Bhim. And those who are on the dais, I see them as drafting committee members. I came to know that for last 1 year, the debate has been going on, and the debate has been through 75 sessions. And the sentence, the top sentence is celebration of 75 years of the Indian Constitution. Celebration of 75 years of Indian Constitution. Kori Vinay Kumar garu said, now we are citizens of this country. After Baba Saheb Ambedkar's Constitution, we are recognized as citizens of this country. As citizens of this country, I strongly 35 years to celebrate, that is the Constitution. Is there anything to celebrate? At least anything which is promised in the Constitution. What are promised in the Constitution? Rajshekhar garu. This is about right to equality. This is about right to equality. It must be debated for next 1 year. Whether it is, what are the, before that one point, 26 November 1949, the Constitution was enacted and adopted. 6 January 1950, when Congress Party was established in 1885, independence was not in their agenda. Since 1905, when extremist phase was started in the Congress Party, under the leadership of Lala Lajpat Rai, Balaganga Tilak, then there was a demand for Swaraj. Independent, externally India would be part of British Empire. Swaraj means dominion status, British Empire. Though Congress Party demanded Swaraj, the British never cared. The British never responded. So in 1928, under the presidency of Motilal Nehru, Congress Party passed a resolution. Since we are giving 1 year time to British government, within 1 year Swaraj must be declared. Even Nehru, Congress Party declared Purna Swaraj. But every Congress Party leader was in Lahore. Party declared independence to the country. Congress Party itself declared. Then Congress Party, AICC decided in coming or on coming 26, that is January 26, 1930. Since January 26th was celebrated every year since 1930 by Congress Party, even in 1949, after adopting and enacting the Constitution, Congress Party and Constituent Assembly together decided to continue the tradition of January 26th to celebrate or celebrating as Independence Day. 1950 January 26th onwards, it is called a Republic Day. So now, what are the 5 important features of our Constitution which are mentioned in preamble? India is a sovereign state. India is a sovereign state. What about weekly warnings of Trump? Trump is giving almost every week a warning. What is sovereign? What is sovereign state? When Ramachandra Murthy garu ordered, Rajshekar garu came and spoke. That is what is called sovereign authority. There should not be any question. Today it must be debated. Is India a sovereign state in its true spirit? Then India is a socialist state. What about LPG? After LPG, what is happening to socialism? Next, India is a secular state. In 1996, I invited Comrade Balgopal as a student of Hyderabad Central University. In 1996, I invited Comrade Balgopal and I organized a seminar in Central University. The topic was saffronization of Indian education. Today, no institution is left without saffronization. Earlier, Professor Chakrapani was talking about election commission and other institutions. Today, almost every institution is saffronized, not only education. Nothing is left. Then, India is a democratic state. Rahul Gandhi is talking about some story and everybody is watching. Only watching. Only watching. Before every election and after every election, the debate is going on about vote chori. And lastly, India is a republic. This is in a better position when you compare with the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic features of our constitution. For their commitment to continue the spirit of Ambedkarism, in 95-96, I was discussing with some friends about CDS, Center for Dalit Studies, and later I came to know about the efforts of Mallaipalli Lakshmi garu, and now this is really, I told Lakshmi garu, almost this is a unique organization in entire country for Dalits. In entire, almost. Somebody mentioned that it is his lifetime mission. He dedicated his life and moving many people all over the country. This is the evidence. I thank once again to CDS team and CDS leadership. Thank you. Jai Bhim.
థ్యాంక్ యూ శ్రీనివాస్ గారు. ఇప్పుడు చీఫ్ గెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఈవినింగ్ మాట్లాడారు. నిన్న విజయవాడలో ఉన్నారు, నిన్న విజయవాడ సభలో మాట్లాడారు, ఇవాళ ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడారు. మీరు ఇంట్రడక్షన్ అక్కర్లేదు సుదర్శన్ గారి గురించి. సుప్రీంకోర్టు జడ్జిగా పనిచేశారు. సుప్రీంకోర్టు జడ్జి అయిన తర్వాత గోవాలో కొంతకాలం పనిచేశారు. ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్ అయినా త్వరగా మాట్లాడటం ఆయన అలవాటు. విద్యార్థులు నాకు కోరుతున్నాను.
సభాధ్యక్షులు, చిరకాల మిత్రులు, గౌరవనీయులు ఆచార్యులు గంటా చక్రపాణి, లక్ష్మీనారాయణ గారు, రాజశేఖర్ ముందు, కొలికపూడి గౌరవ శాసనసభ్యులు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్, రాజేందర్, all this what is going on, my good friend Mallaipalli Lakshmi garu, distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen. రామచంద్ర మూర్తి గారిని ఇప్పుడు సార్ ఎంత టైం ఉంది నాకు అంటే, మీరు ఎంతసేపు అన్న ఎంతసేపు మాట్లాడమంటే ఎంతసేపు అయినా మాట్లాడవచ్చు. కాకపోతే ముందుగా రెండు విషయాలు. రిపబ్లిక్ డే అండ్ కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్ టు Mallaipalli or having perhaps subject to correction, this is the one and only occasion in this country where the discourse is spread over for a period of 1 year exclusively on the constitution and aspects. I don't think it has happened anywhere. Very distinguished and eminent speakers, scholars, and intellectuals, and ordinary citizens were able to participate and contribute their thinking and understanding of the Constitution. With the permission of the chair, may I request all of you to stand up and read preamble along. We will all read together. To constitute India, into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. And to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political. Faith and worship. Equality of status, and of opportunity, dignity, of individuals, and the unity, and integrity, of the nation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's my turn to Jai Bhim. It's my turn to say a few words. Somebody, I think Professor Laxminarayana in his address, for a very, very long time. But now they pretend as if they have accepted the Constitution. In the narration, he said, according
That would happen not merely by bringing the constitution into force, by practicing a task. What do we mean by dignity? The expression fraternity was not there in the aims and objects resolution moved by Panditji. The expression fraternity was added into the preamble at the instance of Baba Sahib. His lifelong struggle, he thought the dignity should be accompanied by fraternity. Otherwise, it becomes the dignity of few strata of the society. My good friend Mr. Ramesh, delivered by Baba Sahib. But thereafter, on 25th November, Baba Sahib said, I shall not therefore enter into merits of the constitution, because there was a lot of criticism. You have made it too long, you have made it too rigid, you have made it too flexible. Lot of debate has taken. Because I feel, however good a constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad. Because those who are called to work it happen to be a bad lot. What is that bad lot? Do we see throughout this country who are involved in the governance of this country? Is it a good lot or a bad lot? The provisions of the constitution to a bad lot, it would remain to be a bad document. The working of a constitution does not depend wholly upon the nature of, such as the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. He mentioned three main organs which find place in the constitution. He did not, Baba Sahib did not mention about the fourth estate, which is now considered to be fourth pillar of the constitution. The factors on which the working of those organs of the state depends are the people and the political parties they will set up as their instruments to carry out their wishes and their politics. We have one distinguished legislator here belonging to a political party. How these political parties are organized, how these their manifestos are framed, what are the problems? Do what we don't. Who can say how the people of India and their purposes, or will they prefer? If they adopt the revolutionary methods, however good the constitution may be, it requires no prophet to say that it will constitution, and their parties are likely to plague. That's the people of this country would depend upon the functioning of these three great instruments. Shall we examine very briefly? Possibly I could be, because I was speaking for almost about 1.5 hours. The issue was framed like that. Constitution and the challenges faced by it. Be it the legislative assemblies, how do they function? For how many days they meet? How the bills are navigated? The most controversial one is a repeal of Ram Ji. But killed his ideas also. Therefore, I do not take a major objection. And I do not take objection for the incorporation of Ram Democrat. Therefore, I don't find any objection because Ram's name is included. I do not go to that level. Some of them take objection. It is their liberty and their choice. How is it debated? I have read a small news item or scroll, I don't know, I don't remember, that such and such a bill is likely to come up today for discussion. In the morning I rang a member of parliament because I got acquaintance with them in this recent journey of mine. Sir, can you send me the copy of the bill? I am really concerned as to what is coming up for discussion. He said, what bill? I said, this is a bill. No, we don't have any information. He was going to the parliament, he was in the car. In the cabinet, it is called, what you call is table agenda. In the parliament, what you call is supplementary list introduced with the permission of the Honorable Speaker. Good. A bill of such drastic consequences comes as a supplementary list and taken up for discussion. What would be the contribution of the Parliamentarian Assembly in his after years? Issues involved, represented by they have introduced a bill as usual. It repeats the principle, Har Hath Ko Kaam Do, Barabar Dam Do. That was the demand. Gram Panchayat. What was the monetary contribution of the state? Now and then 10 in this country which is not there, that 40%, the scheme would not be implemented. That means Constitution prohibits such a course of action. A thing which you can't do directly. Would it come into operation through? It shall come into operation in the states, mind you, and the areas to be notified by the government from time to time. I refuse to notify the provisions of the Act to come into existence there. Suppose they are not notified. Then the subtext of it, my party, legislature approves it. Some friends like Anand go to the judiciary. Perhaps there is every possibility of the Ram ka मामला है. राम का मामला नहीं है मगर नाम में है ना राम, तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Get the seed of approval. And what would the result? It would shut all your mouths. Because they would say yes. What do you want to say? The apex court of this country has certified what we did is absolutely right. What would be the headlines that Dr. Ramachandra Murthy would have carried? if he was editor? Ram's act is constitutionally valid. Another sideline heading, opposition has lost its face. Then I take up one more issue. I would not go into the repeal of Article 317, which provided special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. I look at it in two parts. A province is converted into union territory. Issue was very hotly debated in the Supreme Court. And the learned Attorney General and learned Solicitor General make a solemn promise before the court that the state would be duly restored within a short span of time. That's as good as the union government coming before the court and making a statement. That is the level of understanding and importance attached to those offices. Then the promptly Supreme Court asked, what else you want? Elections are now coming. 370 is no more there. Matter of some fine tuning and adjustments would be there. The state would be restored. And the court promptly records it in the judgment. In view of the solemn statement made by the Attorney General and Solicitor General, we think it is not necessary to further debate and dilate on this aspect. And we record the undertaking given by the Government of India. What happened, sir? How many years? It's no doubt the Constitution provides and authorizes Parliament in exercise of the lawmaking power under Article 3 to alter the territorial boundaries of the states, making a union territory into a state, which we have seen Goa, which we have seen Pondicherry, we have seen Delhi. But you have never seen the reverse process, where the states are being converted into union territories. What happens if tomorrow it happens to X state? You take an area where the whole of state's economic activity is centered and make it a union territory. What remains for that state? That's why Baba Sahib said, if the Constitution fails, not because it's bad, because the man is wild. I don't have to tell you what is the meaning of wild. I request all of you to go and check the dictionary. What an expression used by the dictionary. The man is wild. Singular, the man was wild. I leave it there, I don't go any further. What would happen to the state? What would happen to idea of the federalism? I'll touch briefly upon the idea of constitution here and there. India is a union of states. That is the idea of India. That's how it is a union of states. That's how it is federal in its character. It's a federal because it contemplates the idea of decentralization of power. which today we find the increasing centralization. You take out subjects like education, many other subjects, lift it from the concurrent list and put it into the union list, snatch away some of the items, entries from list 3, that is in respect of which the state could make law. Take over and make it part of the union list. How about the centralization? Take care of the remote areas, say state of Telangana, or for that matter state of Telangana. The very concept of federalism is decentralization of power, turning the constitution on its head. And the potential consequences. Omitted an important part, that is the grammar of anarchy, where he said, no more civil disobedience and satyagraha. You are independent country today, a sovereign democratic republic at that time, but socialist was not there. Because it was not necessary. Directive principles were there, therefore it was a socialist state. He said, the constitutional avenues are available. If the constitutional avenues are not available and my rights are being violated, draconian laws are imposed on my head, I do not know whether I am a citizen of this country or not. I'll come to that a little bit later. Therefore, if you read the whole of it, when he was talking about grammar of anarchy, he was sure that the avenues, the forums, the redressal mechanism provided under the Constitution are available. On that presumption, Baba Saheb said, no more civil disobedience and no more satyagraha. Exactly since those avenues were disappearing, Dr. Lohia tells us, जब सड़क खामोश है, सदन आवारा बनेगा। बन गई कि नहीं? क्योंकि सड़क खामोश है, मनरेगा गायब होकर राम जी राम कैसा आ गया? State of Jammu and Kashmir and has become part of Union Territory है। ये कैसा हुआ? क्योंकि सड़क खामोश है। Streets are silent. When Baba Saheb made that statement, Grammar of Anarchy, Baba Saheb was acutely conscious. After all, it is he who drafted, piloted, struggled, answered that presence of Article 19 in the Constitution of India. Assemble peaceable freedom of speech and expression. Your right to protest on the streets. These are all the Chair's statement, no more satyagraha, no more civil disobedience, would not be applicable. I mean, this is my personal view. I said I do not know whether I am a citizen of India or not. I do not know how many of you are passport holders. That is the only authentic document where India today, could I be in their India today, could I be in their possession. Then the question may crop up. If both your citizens, father and mother, were not citizens of this country, by birth, how is that you have become a citizen of this country? These are the serious questions that are cropping up in this new search. Professor Chakrapani and Professor Laxminarayana, they are my teachers. I mean, in the sense our teachers. We call them sir. अबे तो एक नई मुसीबत आ गई ना, ये नया सर आ गया ना, ये सर। अरे ये कहाँ से आ गया? ये सर लोग तो बैठे हैं, पढ़े लिखे हैं, अपने को पढ़ा है, कुछ सीखा है। अब सर शुरू हो गया। I must tell you, Constituent Assembly had its own secretariat. The issue of citizenship was not settled. Partition riots were taking place. Refugees were pouring into country. And the Secretariat of the Constituent Assembly was busy in preparing the electoral rolls for the ensuing elections. This is our history. This is our struggle. This is the contribution of our forefathers and mothers. One of our mothers were also there in the Constituent Assembly. And normally we don't speak about them. And one man, may his soul rest in peace, Sukumar Sen, Election Commissioner of India. No telephone facilities, no trains, no buses, no telegrams. 90% of the areas were completely inaccessible. Yet they have reached the villages on the back of ponies, horses, donkeys, by walk. And their business was an inclusive business. Include everyone. And what were those days? When women were not willing to disclose or utter the name of their husband. And sometimes even in some further conservative families, even the husband refused to give the name of his wife. अरे वो कुछ बोलते हैं, अरे जो भी है भाई ना, सिर्फ मोहल्ला है, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्ट्रीट नंबर. Under those, now you take up crores and crores of people from the voters list. Who are they? Most of them, you know, oh, we the people में नहीं है, वो गैर है, वो और है, वो तो वो है. अब इससे ज़्यादा मैं क्या बोलूँ? And who comes in the next category? The migrants. Who are those migrants? Coming from the weakest sections of the society, Dalits, tribes, and Ati Pichda, दरिद्र नारायण। वो आता है समस्तीपुर से, काम करता है यहाँ मादापुर में। कहाँ है वो? नहीं है। Where the government select the voters instead of अभी ये आपका काम है समाधान, हम जो करना है हम तो कर भी है। ये सर का मोहब्बत है, मुसीबत है। You have the audacity to ask Professor Amartya Sen. Yesterday you must have seen Hindu. That has triggered both the news items. One by a statement by Justice Buyan about functioning of the democracy, and a collegium in the matter of transfer of judges from one court to the. He's a sitting judge. He said, what nonsense is going on? And the second was big, both of them were side by side. You know what is the question asked to Amartya Sen? भाई ये रिकॉर्ड्स देखने के बाद ऐसा लगता है your mother was only 15 when you were born. Which one is correct? And her mother, his mother herself was a voter for more than 75 years before she passed away. And this man is retained the citizenship out of loyalty and love for this country, though he teaches abroad for the last more than 50 years as a distinguished economist. तो फिर आपका नाम कैसा लिखे? Sir, shall I confess something? I was born when my mother was 50. Suppose that question is asked to me tomorrow. Do you have any record of your parents? I don't have not a scrap of it. I don't have my birth registered in anywhere because in those days, in this part of the state, Telangana, barring one or two districts, I do not know, there were no births and deaths registers. ఉన్నాగాని వాడేవాడు పోలీస్ పట్టాడు, వాడు ఏదో రాస్తాడంటే రాసిండు, రాకపోతే రాయండి. కానీ చక్రపాణి పేరు రాస్తే రాసిండు, లేకపోతే. So are we going to select, whether the government is going to select the voters? And one man who raised these issues of citizenship, which I am raising now today before you, was Umar Khalid. Very difficult not to get emotional when we take his name. I do not know him personally. I wish I would have known. Six and a half years in prison. And my fraternity has no qualms. I can't use any harsher words than that. He is supposed to have delivered a speech in Amaravati, not your Amaravati, Amaravati in Maharashtra. Your Amaravati has yet to take a shape. Big word, committed to hold any judicial office. Big word, committed to hold any judicial office. Dealt with Umar Khalid in such a manner what they should do. I am not saying anything. can be filed, every constitutional right guaranteed. And you tell that boy, you after liberalism in action in judicial forum. And where he should file? Come here, 1.5 plus 1 year, because he has to renew application, 11.5 years. And by the time, is this the idea? Forgive me because I have become a little emotional about talking Umar Khan, whom I do not know. Ladies and gentlemen, we are passing through a very, very difficult, critical times. Therefore, you may ask me, चलो ये सब तो ठीक है, फिर हम क्या करें? What shall we do? మమ్మల్ని చేయమంటున్నావు? అయ్యా నీ ఏడుపంతి మమ్మల్ని చేయమంటున్నావు? My only request is speak. Speak and speak. And don't listen to anyone. Whatever you want to speak, speak. I know I am asking you to take a big risk. Your exercise of your right to freedom of speech and expression is not going to be that easy. And don't be under the presumption that it won't cost you anything. It may. But you stand up, speak. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your forbearance, and thank you. Thank you, sir. A lot of papers, I just left them there.
Don't need any papers, sir. Thank you very much for the inspiring speech. संविधान खतरा में है. That the message is given. Constitution is in trouble. It is danger. We have to protect it. So we should not be any more Yeah, you're right. Almost all speakers were saying that indirectly, but he has said directly that the Constitution is in danger. Ambedkar told us to get social democracy also. Instead of getting social democracy, we are likely to lose political democracy also. The way the election commission is manipulating the election process, the way 6 crores of people are debarred from voting, they lose their right to vote. Where we are going? That we see a thing to think the man behind the show to come and say a few words.
Okay.
लक्ष्मीनाथ जी आगे बढ़ो, बोलो भाई, ये देखो ना हालात, आप बोलोगे नहीं तो क्या होगा?
Okay, thanks to all. Now we are entering a very difficulty time. That not only difficulty time, how should we go? That is also very important. Not only now, sir, I am thinking from 2-3 months. I went to Kerala, then I went to 2 villages, Telangana. I have seen the situation is very bad. Now, we are discussing constitution means. Constitution is not a paper. Constitution is a life, constitution is our journey. Constitution खतरे में है तो हमारा जीवन भी खतरे में है. Constitution अकेला खतरे में नहीं रहेगा. ये हमारा ये सफ़र हम शुरू किया है 1 साल पहले. इसको आगे ले जाना है तो जरूर ले जाएंगे. I think आज सुदर्शन रेड्डी गारू about him, you have all of know about the time of the vice president contest. Not only that, he had a courage after retirement of Supreme Court. We had we were in Telangana movement. हम तेलंगाना समय पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट जज काम करने के बाद हैदराबाद आए थे. हमारा साथ घूम रहे, हमारा साथ काम कर रहे. वो भी नहीं है. ये प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए अरेस्ट होने की भी तैयार है. इन प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए वो स्ट्रीट में आने के तैयार है. रह के उसको प्रोटेस्ट करना है पुलिसों के लिए. उसका काम भी आ गया. ऐसा thank you sir, thank you very much. He is like a strength to us. When we had anything about the issues, legal and whatever democracy, he is the only person to have a give moral support. Thank you. We started Center for Dalit Studies. He's and myself thought and started. Only 5% we registered. Witness. 2% witness. Thanks to Chakrapani. You know Ramachandra Murthy every time he is with us. I think we have seen in last day in the documentary. He is one of the Murthy Garu. I myself and Chakrapani went to the Murthy Garu and introduced the Murthy Garu to Laxminarayana. Murthy Garu told on that day, from this today onwards, Laxminarayana with me. I think from that day, Murthy Garu with us, with me, not only with me, with us, all India level. Even Karnataka Act, even Tamil Nadu Act, every time where I want to go, I will ask sir to are you come with me. He never rejected. Every time he came with me and we together journey. Then Laxminarayana Garu is a very senior professor and he is also working not only this issue, he is working the education movement. He is today and tomorrow he was in the education movement in the meeting of Khammam. Then Kolkapudi Srinivas is my long association. I think with 20-25 years we know together. I think he started some coaching center like that in Gandhinagar. Rajendra Reddy Garu, he is a very senior advocate. He was a member of Bar Council of India. He was a chairman of Hyderabad Bar Association. He was a joint action committee of advocates. In Telangana movement, we have a joint action committee. Then every segment have a joint action committee. Advocate JAG, Doctor JAG, Employees JAG, like that. He was a chairman of the advocate. Whole Telangana advocates he is headed by him. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And here, so many people, whoever today, yesterday, they presented a papers, they gave a lectures. My friend Manjula Pradeep, she came from Gujarat. Anand, he is with me. We went Durban, Pradeep, Manjula, myself, and Anand and Vinay Kumar. All those things. My brother, Professor Limbadri Garu, he is with me with CDS from 25 years. And newly friend Rita and Aruna Sangapali, Vimla Vishwapremi, Sukhdev and Dinesh Chandra, Karnamveer, Haryana, Dinesh Chandra from UP, Ram Kumar from very senior Dalit leader from Uttar Pradesh, then another friend CDR, Center for Dalit Rights from Rajasthan, then very senior leader Gitanand, he was a Naxalite leader. Then he is working with now tribal people. Then he started working towards the Dalits now. Then my another friend Ambujakshan, he is representing the Dalit, what is that? Dalit Panthers, Dalit Tigers. Then so many people, Neelagar is there, my elder, very senior man, Dan Basko sir, Mamadi Narayan Garu, everything is Bhimsen Reddy Garu from Bits Pilani, Patta Venkateshwar Garu, Kuldeep Singh from Bundelkhand, regular from Kerala, Lydia is there. Then our women leader in Telangana, Grace Nirmala is there. Then Shivanandan is a deputy director in Doordarshan in Kerala. All those people, they came here. Abhirami, sorry, my friend Abhirami is there. She is working in All India level Dalit women rights. Manjula, I told Manjula. First I told Manjula. Then please forgive me any left behind. Then my young friend from Secretariat employees, Kishore, he's then sir, what's your name?
Sir. From Lucknow.
Please come the dais. You have a photo with our guests. He is campaigning the, on constitution, sir. He published 75,000 received. अभी नहीं दिया अभी काम कर रहे हैं तो फोटो निकल रहा है कभी भी this whole credit goes to credit everything on credit everybody after this anyway we are closing this valedictory then we are going to another session way forward. Then what will we go? That is also 1-2 hours. We can finish today. Is okay? Hello?
Yes.
Is okay or is it concluded?
No.
Way forward is a very important thing. What we can do next?
Yeah.
Justice have already given the judgments. Stand up and speak up.
Yes, that also what way we have to do, how we will do. That is we have to discuss and finalize the things. Then Justice asked me to what next. I told one thing. These we finished 75 lectures. Then we have to go this lecture series in.
Sir, hand, sir. Sir. Video.
I forget one important person. Please come on to dais. Anirudh from Kerala. He prepared an encyclopedia. I think it's a.
Sir, look here, sir. Sir, look here. Sir. Okay. Ready, sir. Ready. Smile. Ready, sir. Look here. Okay, sir. Thank you.
కాఫీ కావాలి కాఫీ కావాలి
Lady.